你们准备好了没有 ？OK， 那今天呢，OK， 如果你觉得时间还可以的呢，我希望你可以留下来，因为呢，我要给大家听一个分享。那这个分享呢，是上个星期我邀请到 OK 一位很重要的人。那这位呢先生呢，他是来自这个美国洛杉矶，然后他的名字呢叫马丁路奥夫 ，OK。那马丁老师呢，他在12年半前就加入这家公司了。那他加入这家公司的之前呢，他是在洛杉矶一个餐厅呢，做服务员，在端盘子。那生活呢非常的辛苦，他也没有达到他要的那种财富自由的生活。但是有一对双胞胎美女的，现在是我们公司的双 IMD 呢，就介绍他 Worldventures 的平台。那介绍他了之后呢，12年半的今天 ，OK， 马丁老师呢，他的手上也拿着这颗戒指了。他从一个穷光蛋变成了$100,000年收入 ，OK， 生活完全改变。你们想不想听听他的精彩的分享？想听的，请在聊天功能回复一下想听 ，OK， 所以呢，大概他的分享呢，对不对时间会比较长一点，因为他分享很多很精彩的东西，各位。所以呢，如果你时间还可以的呢，我强烈鼓励你留下来听 ，OK。好，那我现在开始播放他的分享，各位 ，OK， 所以请大家 OK 专心的听。同样的英语，但是我有中文字幕 ，OK， 有中文字幕所以呢，现在我开始播了，各位所以邀请我们的马丁路奥夫。All the way from Budapest, Romania. Okay, over to you, Martin.
All right, Dennis, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and great presentation. Great to hear all of that information. I've probably heard, Dennis, literally thousands of presentations for Worldventures over the last 13 years, almost 13 years that I've been a part of it. And I'm just reminded yet again, when I hear it, every single time, I get excited because it's so good. And I know what it's done for my life, and I get excited because it just gets better and better and better, and I see it changing so many other people's lives as well. And I got to tell you, it is an honor and a blessing to be on this webinar with you, Dennis. It's great to see you always. Enjoyed seeing you in Hong Kong just a few weeks ago at the event there. We had thousands and thousands of people at the event in Hong Kong. I guess it was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And for those of you that don't know me, which I'm guessing is a lot of you, my name is Martin Ruof, and I live in the United States. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the United States. I am currently, as Dennis said, in Budapest right now. I am here because we're building a team here. We've actually had a team building here in Hungary and Romania for the last about, almost 7 years, I guess it is, 8 years or so. So I'll get to that. I'll get to how I got here today by starting in the beginning. Basically, I joined Worldventures 12 and a half years ago, just about. Again, I was living in Los Angeles at the time, working in the restaurant industry. I had worked in the restaurant industry for about 20 years total. I know, it's shocking because you're looking at me right now and you're saying to yourself, 20 years? What, you only look like you're 24 years old, Martin. How's that possible? But no, I'm a little bit older than 24. But I was working in the restaurant industry, and look, my life wasn't bad. Okay, it wasn't bad when I joined Worldventures, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. I was not living the lifestyle that I wanted to live, and it's very interesting how the universe works, right? I was working at this incredible restaurant. It's still there. You can actually Google it. It's called Capo, C-A-P-O. Yes, thank you. I only look 34 maximum. I like that. Thank you. Again, CAPO, one of the top restaurants in Los Angeles. I'd say top 3. And I had worked my way up to this top tier restaurant. And when I got the job there, I was so excited because prior to that, I had done all types of different restaurants and bartending jobs, but I worked my way up to this point where I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm finally working here. Like, my life is going to get so amazing because I'm going to make so much more money. And Well, yeah, you know, 4.5 years into working at Capo, I recognized that I was frustrated, man, because I just again had not reached the real level of lifestyle and freedom that I wanted. So when I was introduced to World Ventures, it came as a surprise. I'm guessing that when you joined World Ventures, or even now, if you were just invited to join us on this call, you know, chances are you were not expecting to see what you saw, what Dennis showed you. Well, I wasn't expecting it either, but when I did see it, I recognized very quickly. I recognized very quickly that there was something unique about this. There was something special about this. What I thought was unique and special was that it was travel. What I thought was unique and special was that it was instantly relatable. I got this very quickly. I'm like, well, who doesn't want to travel? Because the twins who showed this to me, my friends, they said, wouldn't it be really cool if we could just travel around the world together and have lots of fun? And I was like, well, of course it would. They said, well, we think we found a way. Here, check this out. And, you know, and when I first saw it again, I got it like that. Now, I did not understand the compensation plan at all. I understood that I could get paid by referring other people to it, but I did not understand the multi-levels, the multiple levels of compensation. It made no sense to me at all. So if you're seeing this for the first time and the compensation plan doesn't make sense to you either, completely, you're in good company. Because again, you know, 12 and a half years later, I've earned millions of dollars doing this, and I didn't understand the compensation plan when I first saw it. So don't let that be an obstacle to you getting started. Don't let that be an obstacle to you having the success that you truly desire. What worked?
大家，我想问一下哈，你们看得清楚吗？因为我这边看起来有点卡哦。看得清楚吗？如果看不清，屏幕不动啊，OK，我知道，不好意思啊，不好意思。OK 那我看看能不能用另外一个方式啊，OK，因为这个不知道为什么今天的网络好像有点慢啊，OK，我用另外一个方式给大家看可能会比较好一点，OK，请大家等待一下啊，我把那个软件打开来可能会比较好一点，可能没有那么卡。OK，所以请大家等待，耐心等待一下。OK，因为今天这个马丁的分享是非常非常棒的，所以我觉得可以再等一下的话呢，给我一点时间，我把这个弄一下，然后呢，尽量想办法让你们可以看到啊。我也不知道为什么今天那个网络特别的慢。OK， 好，等一下。OK， 好，我看看能不能让大家看到这一块。All the way from Budapest, Romania. Okay, over to you, Martin.
All right, Dennis, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and great presentation. Great to hear all of that information. I've probably heard, Dennis, literally thousands of presentations.
OK， 大家你需要用你的手指呢，把这个荧幕放大OK， 你可以把荧幕放大，放大了之后你就可以看到了，就可以看得清楚了，各位因为我用这个原版它就没有那么卡，好吗，各位？好，请你用你的手指呢，把这个你的这个手机屏幕或者电脑屏幕呢放大，你就可以看到这个字幕了。OK， 各位，辛苦一下辛苦一点OK， 好，来 ，OK， 大家准备好了吗？如果可以放大荧幕 ，OK， 我就开始播放 ，OK， 让你们可以看得清楚一点。OK， 然后呢，让我看能不能放大一点。OK， 这样子应该可以了各位。OK， 可以了吗？这样子会不会大一点？可以吗，各位 好的，OK 啊，那我们开始啦。
presentations for Worldventures over the last 13 years, almost 13 years that I've been a part of it. And I'm just reminded yet again, when I hear it, every single time, I get excited because it's so good. And I know what it's done for my life, and I get excited because it just gets better and better and better, and I see it changing so many other people's lives as well. And I got to tell you, it is an honor and a blessing to be on this webinar with you, Dennis. It's great to see you always. Enjoyed seeing you in Hong Kong just a few weeks ago at the event there. We had thousands and thousands of people at the event in Hong Kong. I guess it was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. And for those of you that don't know me, which I'm guessing is a lot of you, my name is Martin Ruof, and I live in the United States. I live in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the United States. I am currently, as Dennis said, in Budapest right now. I am here because we're building a team here. We've actually had a team building here in Hungary and Romania for the last about almost 7 years, I guess it is, 8 years or so. So I'll get to that. I'll get to how I got here today by starting in the beginning. Basically, I joined Worldventures 12 and a half years ago, just about. Again, I was living in Los Angeles at the time, working in the restaurant industry. I had worked in the restaurant industry for about 20 years total. I know, it's shocking because you're looking at me right now and you're saying to yourself, 20 years? What, you only look like you're 24 years old, Martin. How is that possible? But no, I'm a little bit older than 24. But I was working in the restaurant industry, and look, my life wasn't bad. Okay, it wasn't bad when I joined Worldventures, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. I was not living the lifestyle that I wanted to live, and it's very interesting how the universe works, right? I was working at this incredible restaurant. It's still there. You can actually Google it. It's called Capo, C-A-P-O. Yes, thank you. I only look 34 maximum. I like that. Thank you. Again, CAPO, one of the top restaurants in Los Angeles. I'd say top 3. And I had worked my way up to this top tier restaurant. And when I got the job there, I was so excited because prior to that, I had done all types of different restaurants and bartending jobs, but I worked my way up to this point where I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm finally working here. Like, my life is going to get so amazing because I'm going to make so much more money. And well, yeah, I 4.5 years into working at Capo, I recognized that I was frustrated, man, because I just, again, had not reached the real level of lifestyle and freedom that I wanted. So when I was introduced to Worldventures, it came as a surprise. I'm guessing that when you joined Worldventures, or even now, if you were just invited to join us on this call, chances are you were not expecting to see what you saw, what Dennis showed you. Well, I wasn't expecting it either, but when I did see it, I recognized very quickly that there was something unique about this. There was something special about this. What I thought was unique and special was that it was travel. What I thought was unique and special was that it was instantly relatable. I got this very quickly. I'm like, well, who doesn't want to travel? Because the twins who showed this to me, my friends, they said, wouldn't it be really cool if we could just travel around the world together and have lots of fun? And I was like, well, of course it would. They said, well, we think we found a way. Here, check this out. And, and when I first saw it, again, I got it like that. Now, I did not understand the compensation plan at all. I understood that I could get paid by referring other people to it, but I did not understand the multiple levels of compensation. It made no sense to me at all. So if you're seeing this for the first time and the compensation plan doesn't make sense to you either completely, you're in good company. Because again, 12 and a half years later, I've earned millions of dollars doing this, and I didn't understand the compensation plan when I first saw it. So don't let that be an obstacle to you getting started. Don't let that be an obstacle to you having the success that you truly desire. What worked for me and helped me have success in this, frankly, very quickly, I'd say there were three things. The three things were this. One, I was connected to very good people. I had surrounded myself with the right people. I didn't know that they were the right people at the time. I was very fortunate. It just happened to be the right people. Of course, the twins, and there was a few other people like David and Yvette Uloa. And I was also very, very fortunate to be connected to people like Jefferson Santos, who's one of the top income earners in the company, and several other people. Now, also, I used the product instantly. Okay? As soon as I could, or I shouldn't say instantly, it took months before we actually even had a dream trip available to us. So understand something. When I joined, the company had just started. And so when we launched the company, there were no actual dream trips that anyone could take. No one had tested the product. So I was one of those guinea pigs or suckers at the time that joined without anyone ever experiencing a trip. So I basically joined on trust. I trusted my friends. Trust your friends. I joined on faith. Have faith that this will work, because it does. Now, several months into the company's formation, I took a dream trip. I took the first one. It was a simple 4-day, 3-night cruise. It was on Royal Caribbean to the Bahamas, and it was absolutely incredible. Now, listen, we had VIP access to the Atlantis Resort. We had, which, by the way, if you were not staying at the Atlantis, that cost $89 per day just to use it. But because it was a dream trip, that fee was included in the cost of the trip. We also had excursions like swimming with dolphins and stingrays, all included. Parties. I met the founder of the company, the CEO of the company. Show me a company and tell me about a company where you can party with the founder and the CEO, and they just hang out and talk to you like you're a normal person, because you are. And they talk to you like they're a normal person, because they are. Well, I had never experienced that before. When I worked at the restaurant, I didn't get a chance to hang out with the owner of the company. The owner of the restaurant. He didn't want to hang out with me. He treated me like I was an employee. He treated me like I was subservient to him. He would threaten to fire me if I didn't do my job right. If I made mistakes, I would get threatened with being fired. Here's what's really cool about this. When you make mistakes in this, when you make mistakes building Worldventures, you don't get fired. When you make the same mistake over and over and over at your job, my guess is you get fired. When you make the same mistake over and over and over in Worldventures, we give you a high five. We applaud you when we say to you, cool, rock and roll. We've made mistakes too. Let's get back at it and let's help you. When you make mistakes in this business, you will actually get paid. That's pretty cool. So again, the three things: I surrounded myself with great people. I took a dream trip. Now, by the way, that dream trip cost $33.50 per person, not per day, per person, $33.50 US. It blew my mind. It was an incredible experience. And that is what a dream trip is. It's not a vacation. It's not a holiday. It's an experience that is so unique, so curated, you will not get it anywhere else. And you certainly will not get it for as inexpensive as you'll get it with us. So the three things: surrounded myself with great people, I used the product, and then I went to trainings. Now, I didn't want to go to trainings when I first heard about it. When I went to this training, I was blown away by it because I wasn't expecting it to be as extraordinary as it was. I almost didn't go because in my brain, I was like, well, I don't want to go to training. I don't want to spend money to go to a training. I don't want to spend money to fly to a different city to get trained. I don't want to do that. But through a series of circumstances, I wound up going, and I'm so glad that I went, because here's the deal. That one training introduced me to one of my mentors. One of my mentors is Mark Assetti. He is our director of training, and he's brilliant. And he walked out on stage, and he had this beautiful Rolex that was gold and diamond crusted, and it was just shooting off lasers. When the light hit it, it was incredible. And what I recognized very quickly, within 2 hours, is that there's a blueprint for building this business. There's a blueprint for success. You do understand there's a blueprint for success in every facet of your life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, health, physical health. There's a blueprint. Eat right, exercise, sleep, hydrate, and eat less, eat less calories. You get the idea, right? There's a blueprint for it. There's a financial blueprint. If you want to be successful financially, don't spend more than you earn. Simple basics, and then there's others. In this business, there is a blueprint for success. We call it invite, show, enroll, educate, promote. I jokingly say it's called IC and P, right? IC and P. Invite, show, enroll, educate, promote. That's our system. Now, there's other aspects of this system, sort of subcategories. That's the system, and it works really well. So when I recognized there was a system, I got very excited because I realized, wow, I can do this. And so I just started, again, plugging into those three things. I got around the right people consistently, and I continued to use the product, the dream trips, and I continued to go to the trainings. And most importantly, I got my team around the same people, great people. I got my team to go on dream trips, and I got the team, the leadership to go to the trainings. The more we did that, the faster the team grew. So to condense the story, because, and by the way, I'm sharing my story, and hopefully you're hearing the lessons in the story. Hopefully you're hearing the training in the story. We share our stories so you can change your story. I don't know where you're at right now. I don't know what it is that you're doing to make money right now. I don't know what your life is like right now, but I'm guessing you want your life to be, your life experience to be greater than what it is right now. I'm guessing that what you want is you want to experience more freedom, more fun, greater fulfillment than you are right now. If that's you, then you're in the right place. You just, again, follow the system, give it time to work. So basically, as I was saying, condensing the story, I wound up introducing over in the first year, 33 people to Worldventures that joined. In the second year, 32 people. The third year, 25 people. So kind of building from there. A number of those people that I introduced did not actually go out and build the business. A number of those people that I introduced just kind of sat around and did nothing. A number of those people did very little. But here's the thing. A handful of people went out and shared this with other people. A handful of people decided to step up. A handful of people engaged in the business and really in the system and began to build. And we began to build together. And the business took off. Because I think this is just a training, webinar, I'll tell you some of my examples. $150,000 in my first year doing this business. That's a bit unusual, but it happens quite a bit now. Also, to put it into perspective, my last year waiting tables, I made $48,000 for the year. So I more than doubled my income in my first year doing Worldventures. Second year, I made $350,000 for the year. I got very good at promoting the trainings and promoting how to invite. My third year in the business, made $550,000. Why? Because I got even better, but most importantly, the leadership in the team, a handful of people, not everybody, a handful of people got very good at promoting the system, promoting the events, the training events, and promoting how to invite, educating people how to invite. And so then my income just continued to go up. And then a very interesting thing happened. And by the way, when I first was building Worldventures, for the first 2.5 years, I was living in a one-room apartment in Venice Beach. Now, I'm not in my house right now. I'm at a friend's house, but I was living in an apartment that was a little, probably about maybe twice the size of this office that I'm in right now, twice the size. I had a bed, a chair, a plant, and that's it, some pictures on the walls. I also was driving a 2001 Toyota Corolla. It had 2 broken door handles on the same door, okay? I had to roll my window down with 2 hands and roll my window down there and reach out with 2 hands to open up my car door. That was my life. So I wound up quitting my business, the restaurant job several months into doing this because I recognized that there was a real opportunity. Now, I'm not saying go out and quit your job. I'm not saying do anything like that. Make sure if you do, you've got plenty of money in the bank and all of that. But that's what I did. And it paid off. It really did. So look, I've been on in the last 13 years, I've been on well over 200 dream trips and vacations. And I mean way over that. I travel all the time. I travel because I choose to, not because I have to. I travel because I love to, not because I have to. It's brilliant. So this business, this platform called Worldventures profoundly changed my life. What's interesting is that one of the things that I believe helped me have a lot of success was that I wasn't just engaging in the system of the business, invite, show, enroll, educate, promote. That's the system on one level. But then there's another part of the system, part of the equation, part of the formula for success. Part of the formula for success, invite, show, enroll, educate, promote. But then there's another part. And that other part is personal development. They say work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and you will become unusually successful. They say work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and you'll become unusually successful. Well, that's what has wound up happening. I became unusually successful. And just so you understand, I had a lot of people tell me no. I had a lot of my friends that I worked with at the restaurant saying, no, it's one of those pyramid things. No, it seems like a scam. No. They were comfortable doing what they were doing. Maybe they were scared of doing something else. I don't know, and I don't care. It's not my job. It's not our job to figure out why people say no. It's just our job to continue to, as my friend Johnny Wimbrey says, swing the bat. Step up to the plate and keep swinging the bat. And one of these days, you'll connect. And sometimes when you connect, you hit a single, you get on first base. And other times, you hit a triple or a double. And sometimes you hit a home run. The point is not to be focused on where the ball is going and all of it. The point is to swing the bat. Step up, step in, lean in, and go for it. So that's what we did. Now, I was very focused on the personal development. I believe that that's what, again, helped me have success because I worked on my mindset. I read lots of books to learn how to expand my mind so I would think bigger. I read books like Think and Grow Rich. I read books like The Magic of Thinking Big. I read books on leadership by John C. Maxwell. I listened to audios by Jim Rohn all the time. I was constantly filling my mind with good things, and I was constantly emptying my mind of the garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. Good things in, nourishment in, and good things happen. So interestingly, what happened to me was this. About 4.5 years into Worldventures, again, I had already made well over $1 million, all right? And by the way, I moved out of that one-room apartment, and I lived in that one-room apartment for 2.5 years while I was building Worldventures, okay? I moved out of that apartment into a beautiful home in the Hollywood Hills, used to be owned by Tina Turner. I got rid of that, Toyota Corolla, and I wound up buying a beautiful S-Class Mercedes, S63 AMG, fully loaded, beautiful, beautiful car. Used to be driven, beautiful car. What happened was this. I started getting all the stuff and having lots of recognition and all of this. I stopped working on myself. I stopped doing the personal development. I stopped doing the things that helped get me to be successful in the first place. Why did I stop? I don't know. I just got lazy. Why did I stop? I don't know. I just did. I guess I just got lazy. Sometimes when you start having success, you need to work even harder. Sometimes you need to just work a little bit harder, not to just maintain the level of success, but for it to continue to build. Now, work harder, what I mean by that is maybe just do a little bit more personal development. Maybe just tweak the personal development just a little bit, but I stopped. So what happened was my business kept going up, and then, boom, it just sort of plateaued for a bit, and then it began to retreat. And interestingly, I wound up doing things that were self-sabotaging my business, self-sabotaging my life. And I believe looking back at it, I believe what happened was this. I hit a lid. I hit a lid, a financial lid. I hit a lid of comfort. And I was no longer willing to be uncomfortable. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, then you're never really going to have significant success, I think, in anything. Look, is going to the gym when you haven't gone in 2 years comfortable? No, at first it's not comfortable. At first it's annoying, it's frustrating, it's tiring. It's like, oh, I got to get out of bed and go to the gym. Oh, I don't want to. It's not always comfortable to eat healthy foods. In fact, it's a lot more comfortable to eat McDonald's because it's fast food, but it's also not nourishing. So sometimes in this business, and I'm sure, of course, Dennis Bay knows, he's extremely successful in this. By the way, Dennis Bay has taught me a lot about this business. He's taught me about the way to show up and be successful. So again, surround yourself with the right people and do it all the time. Be mindful of who you connect with and who you let into your inner circle. So I had stopped doing those things that were working so well. My lid, my financial lid, I capped it out. I kept hitting the lid. And so I wasn't able to earn more than what I believed I was worth. What happened was I actually thought I was not worthy of earning the money that I was earning, and I was not worthy of having the success that I wanted to have or that I was achieving. And so I began to do things that sabotage it, and the business began to fall backwards. Now, to be very, very candid with you, I lost the rank of IMD. I lost it for a period of time. And when I lost it for a period of time, my ego was so caught up in having it in the first place that I thought I was like this horrible person, and I was very embarrassed. I felt ashamed, guilty, blah, 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 blah. All those very unnecessary emotions. But because I wasn't working on myself, I didn't see properly in the proper perspective what was happening. And I stopped hanging around the people that were so good for me, the Troy Browns, the Byron Troggs, the Jeff Boffs, the Twins, the people that I was connected to and had built the business with. I stopped hanging around them because they continued to work on themselves. And as their incomes continued to climb and mine fell backwards, I didn't feel like I was, it felt uncomfortable to be around them because I knew I wasn't doing what I needed to do in order to maintain that. So in any event, I was really checking out. I mean, I checked out for a couple of years. I was still in the business, but I was not in the business. I was not engaged. And here's the shorter version of the story. What helped me re-engage was this. I did one thing again and again and again. And I'm telling you, listen to me. If you hear me say anything, listen. I came this close to quitting Worldventures. I came this close to selling my business simply because I didn't like the way it felt to not being the success that I wanted to, that I knew I could have. I didn't like the way I was showing up. And it was easier for me to just quit than to take responsibility, to take ownership of my life and my decisions and my choices. It was easier to blame other people, to blame the company, to blame this, to blame that. Man, I came this close. I was making, at the time, my check had fallen, but I was still making $45,000 a month. And I was like, I'm going to sell. No. I was throwing this little pity party every flipping day. But what happened was this. The one thing that I continued to do, that I'm telling you saved me, was I continued to show up. I never missed a training, ever. I would still go to the trainings, and I would still sit in the front rows, and I would hear things that people were saying. I would hear what Michael Jecks was saying. I would hear Eric Grzybowski speaking. I would hear Johnny Wimbury speaking. I would hear Dennis Bay talking. I would hear people, and I'd be like, God, I know there's something. I want more. I know I can do this. And then one day, something fascinating happened. Well, actually, two things in a row happened. One, I heard Johnny Wimbury do a talk at an event called boot camp, and he literally was saying words and saying the same theme. His talk was the same theme of a talk that I had in my head that I had been thinking about for months. It blew my mind. And I remember turning to my wife going, man, he's saying the same things that I've been thinking. And then a couple of weeks later, I was in my car, I was listening to an audio, one of the Worldventures audio, and it was a CD called Passion for Profits, and he said the word passion. It was the last 5 minutes of the CD. He said, you want to know what builds this business? It's passion. It's passion. And he kept saying the word passion, and he said it very passionately. What I recognized was that guy is saying the one word that I've been thinking and wanting to say, but was too embarrassed to say it. Passion. And that's when the light switch went completely on, and I was like, I'm in. I'm all in again, because I'm sick and tired of hearing other people say the words I want to say. I'm sick and tired of watching other people live the life that I want to be living. I'm sick and tired of watching other people run through their fears, and I'm not. I'm sick and tired of knowing that I'm not living up to my potential. So I got after it. And because I continued to show up, I received what I needed to receive. Some of you, if you're going through challenges, the desire in your brain, you might be like, well, I'm just gonna disappear. I'll just disappear. Don't do that. Don't do it. Continue to show up. Go to every single training. Just do it. Because I'm telling you, it's worth it. If you're going through a long, dark tunnel, there is light, but you have to go through the tunnel. If you turn around and go backwards, you want to know what's backwards? It's not light, it's darkness. I'm telling you. So I'll just keep going. And within 2 years of re-engaging, it was actually almost 18 months. This is what happened. My check went from $45,000 a month to over $100,000 a month within 18 months. Okay? Listen to me. This business, it works. Worldventures, it works. You want to know what doesn't work? People. People choose not to work. They either choose not to work on themselves or they choose not to work on the business. And when they don't get the results that they say they want, they blame other people or they blame the business. But do they take responsibility for themselves? No. This business works if you work it and you work on you. You got to do both. You just do. There's no escaping it. Okay? Now listen. My life has profoundly better. Like I said at the very top of the call, I'm in Budapest, Hungary right now. You want to hear something amazing? Last night I was in Transylvania. I was hanging out with Dracula at his castle. I was hanging out in Transylvania, which, by the way, is a very large region of Romania. I mean, a huge region. It's not a little tiny place with a dark castle. It's not that at all. It's an incredibly beautiful place. Romania is exquisite. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. The people are incredible. But I was hanging out doing a presentation in Romania. And this week, just in the past 7 days, we've had 2 new people hit director and 3 new people hit, 2 new people hit director and 2 new people hit senior rep just in the last 7 days. Now, these are people I never would have met were it not for Worldventures. These are people I never would have met had I not 12 and a half years ago said, I'm in. These are people I never would have met had I not introduced some people who went and told other people who joined, who told other people who joined, who told other people who joined. The people that walked for director, that just hit director in all these ranks, I don't know them. I didn't directly sponsor them. Now listen, did I say Hotel Transylvania? Now listen, here's what's crazy. The reason I am in Romania and Hungary right now is because about 9 years ago, someone named Tunda was, who I didn't introduce into Worldventures, who I didn't even know who Tunda was. I didn't sponsor the person that sponsored the person that sponsored the person that sponsored the person that sponsored Tunda. I had no idea who she was, but she sponsored somebody in Hungary, in Budapest. And that person named Gabor Domjan went and told other people who told other people, and here we are 9 years later. That's the magic and the power of this opportunity. So what I want you to do, and I'm going to wrap up with this, is I want you to not just, I want you to think big. I want you to think bigger than you're currently thinking. And I don't care if you're a double IMD, because I'm not a double IMD yet. I'm very close. But we all have to think bigger, because the reality that we step into is actually bigger than what we were even dreaming of in the first place. So if you really caught what I just said, think big, think bigger, because the reality, when it happens, will be greater. It will be bigger than what you were dreaming of. Pretty remarkable. So I want you to think bigger, and I want you to play bigger. I didn't say work bigger, I said play bigger. Because if you're not having fun building Worldventures, then why the heck are you doing it? If we're not going to have fun, then what are we doing? Dennis Bay is one of the coolest, funnest people I know in this company, and that I know, period. He's a blast to hang out with. He's always goofing off. The guy gets the job done. He's a stud in this thing, but he has fun doing it. So play bigger, think bigger, and again, play bigger, and here's the real key. Play faster. Build this faster, because faster is more fun. Faster produces your bigger results faster. Play faster. Think bigger, play bigger, play faster. There's a formula for you, and it works. Dennis knows it. I know it. All the people that are having big success in this company, we all know it. So here's the deal. Okay, I'm going to sign off in just a moment, but I want to tell you, listen to me, everybody. I'm all in with Worldventures. And when I say all in, if you haven't gotten that by now, get it. Look in my eyes, hear my voice, feel what I'm saying to you. This is the deal. It is, bar none. I speak with the founder of the company multiple times a week. I speak with the CEO of the company at least once a week, and I speak with the president of the company multiple times a week. We got this thing, and we don't just have it. We have it. We have something so unique and so special that it's the mold has been broken. The mold of what this is, the universe, God, whatever, broke the mold and said, this is the deal. There are none other like it. There will never be another like it. Sure, people will try, but there will never be another Worldventures. There will only be one. And I believe this opportunity comes around once. Once. Cherish it. Make the most of it. Do not waste your shot. And don't get all pity party like I did years and years ago. Don't throw a pity party if you're not getting the results that you want in the time you want it. You want them. Don't throw a pity party, because when you focus on the pity party, you get other people to focus on the pity party with you. And then because you're all having a bigger pity party, it lasts longer. What we focus on expands. So be mindful of what you focus on. Focus on that, $1 million. Focus on the goal, and only on the goal, only on the outcome, only on your intention. That's the deal, all right? So I'm going to run. We're going to have another travel party tonight in Budapest here. I'm very excited. It's 3:11 7 in the afternoon where I am. And I'll tell you, Dennis, I thank you. I love you. I respect you. I appreciate you. You are a stud of studs, my friend. So everyone, thank you for taking the time to be on the line here tonight. I hope you got value out of this. So, Dennis, I'll turn it back to you, my friend.
All right, I did this. I'm doing a screen sharing, everyone. So you can see the photos, everyone. Yeah. Can you see it, Martin?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah, the photo in the upper left-hand corner of the screen is me sitting on the back steps of the restaurant where I worked called Capo when I joined Worldventures. And every day at about 5:15 in the afternoon, I would have my 15 minutes before the restaurant, before we let guests in the restaurant at 5:30. And I would sit on those steps, these greasy steps, and I would sit there and start, get myself psyched up. But what I was really doing was I started imagining the life that I wanted to live. And there were these planes that would fly overhead because the restaurant sat in the flight path of a private airport. So the G5s, the G4 jets would be flying overhead. And the restaurant also was a block from the ocean, from the Pacific Ocean, from the beach. So I could smell the salt, in the air. I could see the sand blowing in the air. It was absolutely, like, as I look back at it, it was kind of magical. But what was really cool was I was seeing the life that I wanted, not just in my mind, but I was seeing it physically. And lo and behold, I would sit there all the time. I wound up building, getting involved with Worldventures. And they're the twins. The picture on the upper right side of the screen, I'm wearing a hat. There's Dave and Yvette Uloa. Both of them are, IMDs, of course, in the company. That's to my immediate left. Then the twins, they're standing on each opposite side of Dan Stamen. Dan Stamen was the CEO at the time of the company. Super great guy. Of course, he's still with the company. He's not the CEO, but just an amazing guy. And you want to know what's funny? The woman on my right, she was in my team. The woman on the left in the red, they were both in my team. Interesting that they're both wearing red. I know the woman on the far left, her name is Melody, but she's no longer in the business. And the woman on my right, no longer in the business. I don't remember her name. But what's funny is I don't remember her name, and I don't ever think about it. But I don't talk to her anymore. But had she just stuck with the business, she'd have around 80,000 members in her team right now on one leg. Pay attention, get excited, never quit. But why do people don't know, don't care? And then down there on the bottom of the screen, the center of the screen is is the actual list of the trips for the very first year in the business. So you can see, maybe you can see the first one says, Caribbean Cruise, I think it says. But those were the trips for the first year. We did 15 trips for the entire year of first year. Now we're doing basically, one trip every 90 minutes or something like that. It's incredible. So look how much has changed. I mean, clearly I have not changed at all. I look the exact same. No. But look how much has grown with the company, and look how life can change in such a short period of time. So anyway, Dennis, that's cool that you're showing those. So that's the story behind it.
好的，各位，所以呢，听完了马丁老师的分享，你们觉得棒不棒啊？有没有学到东西呢？真的是非常棒哈。OK， 所以呢，我们今天晚上的 Zoom 会议呢，稍微有点长了点，但是呢，这个录影呢的链接呢，我会发到我的这个朋友圈，还有发到我的 Facebook。OK， 应该是明天你们去看看我的朋友圈或